I've watched enough hentai to get why the MC gets some pussy. It's simple. First, say no to getting cucked. Second, do step 1 and repeat. But enough about that. I just wanted to talk about that. Why nice guys in the real world have a parallel to actual anime nice guys, and why they're boring and have nothing else going on. There, I said it. Look, I don't mind a kind character. The problem is when they're only nice. Their single defining trait. Then what's the point? Look at Shinji. Think him acting depressed is gonna get him laid? Nah, it's from all the unstable bitches around him. Seriously, Misato's like 29 going for a 14-year-old. That's what we like to call a pedophile. And I'm fairly sure all redheads have a mental disorder. I've worked in retail with enough of them. But it feels like a lot of nice guys from more recent shows are just boring. Look at Demon Slayer or Kimetsu no Yaiba for you dirty, filthy weebs, and Tanjiro is a prime example. Let's boil down his character from what's shown in the anime, since I'm too lazy to read the manga. Let's get rid of the big bad, his motivation. What does he have left? I'll give you a second to think. Exactly, nothing. He has no goals in life. Sure, he can grieve over some unimportant dinner that went sour, and he was left with a small portion. But why should we care? Yeah, it's sad, but he barely thinks about it. But overall, he's a static character that I like to compare him to Ichigo from Bleach. Sure, one's a hot-headed ginger with some of that 2000s edge, but neither have a goal in life. Only rescue someone, no hobbies, just a blank personality that I feel reflects the era's personality for the main protagonist. Yes, the character's goal is revenge, and I guess to return his sister back to normal, but only having that is usually boring and almost as bad as being exclusively nice. Look at Guts from Berserk. Yeah, he's not a nice guy. He's an asshole. But remove the big bad, his goal is still to find meaning, tackle big and new challenges, and live day to day with a looming amount of depression surrounding him just like the average young American out in the wild. Maybe if we got a little bit more to round off the character, I wouldn't mind Tanjiro as much. Perhaps give some time to expand his backstory and determine why he's so nice. Let me know more about the character and his family so I can care more about them. Maybe he's ran so flat so the person reading it can pretend it's them, with easy to imagine scenarios. Maybe that's why they're adapting it to a game, so he could self-insert like every run-of-the-mill JRPG. Maybe he improves later in the manga and things make him change, but I don't know. Least I can say, Tanjiro isn't as fucking annoying as a blonde-haired boy who will get cucked in half sloppy thirds and hopes to get laid next. And enough about ragging on the show with Michael Jackson as the main villain. Murder Princess. I think an overrated ass chick with no personality put it best.
Shit!
Alright, steal the plot from Freaky Friday, mix with royalty, okayish action, and that sounds like it can work, except it doesn't here. Even watching it years ago doesn't wash off the stank of the flat characters, and like things I've done in the past, I'll never feel clean. Let's go over a list of what the show is. You have a princess who doesn't want to be princess, and a psycho killy bitch who switches bodies with her. Okay. The former princess is fine with being reduced to a servant. Okay. The killy bitchy lady doesn't want to be princess, and no one in the kingdom cares that these two blokes are hanging out with her. Okay. Also, she must save the day, despite not wanting to. Okay. Look, show, if you want to be so by the numbers and be mediocre, go ahead. I get it. You only have 6 episodes to work with, but something like Fooly Cooly or Eve no Jikon can at least respect its audience with a thoughtful story. Give us their motivations. Even if Fooly Cooly felt like a fever dream, I at least did have something to discuss about the symbolism and stuff like that, and why the characters are what they are. Here, with the princess, who I didn't even bother to learn her name, she has no conflict. Sure, her kingdom is under attack every episode, but she just doesn't care about the problem at hand with her body being switched. I don't want to be a broken record and repeat what I already said earlier, but at least Tanjiro was not a doormat, which is another problem with a lot of nice guys. They just take what's thrown at them without any complaint or problem. As much as I cringe watching this scene where Tanjiro wanted to headbutt someone to get revenge. Boy, are you autistic? I can let them kill you. Back to Murder Princess. To make it more interesting, explore the dynamic relationship with the princess and the killy bitchy lady. Make it more interesting. Give the idea of 2 different classes clashing. Explore why she's so nice, perhaps from how sheltered she lived in the castle, with people being at her beck and call, and how it affects everyone. Look, I know a show that does this good. Madoka Magicka. You know, the show where the daunting music is in the first episode and it kind of gives away the whole dark thing pretty early. Our main character is thrust into a role where she wants to be the hero. She is nice, but that niceness comes at the cost of suffering. She does not like getting sad-cocked, watching all of her friends get fucked in front of her, even one getting some head. They even swallowed. But what makes her more interesting than the others is her personal life matters, the choices she makes matters, the events around her matter, and everything adds up. You could remove the nice part of her character and switch it up with something else, and it would change the direction of the story completely. Her being nice is both a strength and a flaw that helps define her. I feel if I made Tanjiro into Ichigo from Bleach, nothing would change. The story would progress the same, maybe there'd be more bickering between the characters, more failed attempts at comedy, but overall the story would be untouched. But let me be fair, perhaps Madoka has the advantage of being an anime original project, so things would be better planned out in advance compared to being weekly and having time to pace out everything so things could come more organically without an editor breathing over everything they do. Then Rebellion happened and fucked everything up, but maybe I'll get to that in the future. I want to bring up 2 shonen mangas that reflect my statements with one that doesn't work and one that does. Dr. Stone. Senkyu's alright, I actually like him, but his boneheaded friend and useless girl that probably gets looted by plenty of girls on Instagram to bring in thirsty guys to get into their OnlyFans page. They were basically running out of the show so early because they barely contributed anything to the story. Buff nice guy who wants to be a pacifist? Fucking boring. Look at Vash from Trigun. He gets punished often for what he does, humiliating himself if it makes peace, showing there's more to his niceness and how the world reacts to him. The character is put into more gray areas that makes him question his decisions, blurring right and wrong. Tanjiro, sure, after he kills an enemy, we get to see more depth from them, but that's literally from their last seconds of screen time, and as someone once said, a hero is only as interesting as their villains. And when I think it comes to their last seconds of life, I know it's there to be a tearjerker, but it just doesn't have the proper build-up, and it's not really that sad. But what do I know? I'm just a banana. Hey dude, you thinking what I'm thinking? You're fucked up, dude.